Hello everybody, this is Cheryl Abram. Welcome to Person-Centered Cyber. So for week 1 of CASP, I want to talk about security policy. I've seen questions in the practice exams that address security policies. Sometimes they're talking about administrative and sometimes technical. So when I first came into the field, I didn't know what people were referring to when they mentioned technical policies. So here's information that I'm using to really help me get these questions related to both administrative and technical policies. So 15% of the CASP Plus is about governance, risk, and compliance. Now, in addition to Dion and my other training resources, I'm reading up on what NIST says about RMF and ERM, Enterprise Risk Management. Now, NIST is always on the ball when it comes to this stuff, okay? So security policies, both administrative and technical, are directly related to risk management, all right? So that's one thing I found when I started, figuring out what the heck security technical policies were. So the head of every organization, business, nonprofit, even your house, really should articulate in writing or some other way the overall risk appetite around keeping people secure, safe, and able to do the job. Now, this is from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, okay, which is a federal organization in DC. They've come up with their risk appetite statement, all right? No appetite for unauthorized access to systems and critical data, low appetite for losing continuity of business operations, and moderate for innovative technology solutions, okay? This is really good, all right? There's not many around that have cybersecurity risk appetite statements, so this is awesome. Now, from that, with really clear, explicit information, and they use other stuff like risk registers and all that, but I, as a policy writer, I can now use that to develop administrative controls or policies, all right, to help ensure that from a cybersecurity perspective, we manage risk according to the risk appetite, okay, that's been established by the head of the organization. Now, this sample vulnerability management policy clearly states what's expected for security of end user devices, server, sensitive data, and logs. All right, other standards like DISA-STIGs, PCI DSS, those are also used as administrative controls and we manage regulatory risk by implementing the controls in those kinds of in those standards. Now, those admin policies have to be translated into technical policies or controls. Okay. Now, the architect, the DevOps engineers, they have to determine, all right, now what do we need to buy? What do we need to purchase? What do we need to configure to meet these vulnerability management policy requirements? Okay. Now, that's the same for every single security policy you have. Password policy. Here's the administrative. What do we have to do technically? Okay. What devices do we have to configure? How do we got to do that? Okay, to be able to adhere to this password policy, all right? So let me leave you with some really exciting news, okay, that I found out when I was doing this research. So this is my dream car. It's a Range Rover. Now, I looked at one about a week ago, and this thing is practically artificial intelligence, okay? It's got everything. Heated, cooling seats, power recline, heated rear seats. Okay, a touchscreen interactive driver display, 3-zone climate control. All right. I mean, when I sat in it, it was like I was in the Singapore Airlines. Have you been to Singapore Airlines? Okay. Let me show you what it looks like. First class. That's first class on Singapore Air. This is what it felt like sitting in that car. Okay. Now, for this, a round trip ticket gonna set you back around $18,000. All right, and she is gonna set me back, if I get everything I want, about $200K. All right. Now, I'm mentioning this because August of 2021, ISO finally came out with their final version of cybersecurity standards for car manufacturers. Okay, this is it, ISO 21434 2021. All right. And they should, because looking at that car and others like it, all right, there's a lot of cyber going on here. On the right here, I have a domain controllers that control like everything. Okay, so now we know where cars are going, all right, and they're gonna need some cybersecurity engineering. All right, so thank y'all for watching. I'll be back here next time.